Imagine two people. The first person never misses a payment, always buys things on sale, works overtime whenever possible, keeps every dollar safely in the bank, avoids risk. Everybody calls them financially responsible. The second person doesn't do any of those things. They invest aggressively, switch jobs regularly, spend money on learning new skills, and occasionally make decisions that look reckless. 20 years later, the second person is worth millions. The first person is still living paycheck to paycheck. How is that possible? Because some of the habits we've been taught are responsible, are actually keeping us broke. Today, we're exposing the good habits that quietly destroy wealth. And by the end of this video, you may completely rethink what being financially responsible really means. Most people believe saving money means buying the cheapest option available. Cheap shoes, cheap tools, cheap furniture, cheap electronics. Sounds responsible, but here's the problem. Cheap products often cost more than quality products. Imagine buying a $40 pair of shoes every year. For 10 years, you've spent $400. Now imagine buying a $150 pair that lasts the entire decade. The expensive option was actually cheaper. And this principle applies everywhere. Many people spend years replacing low-quality purchases instead of buying quality ones. They're not saving money. They're renting disappointment. Wealthy people often focus on value. Broke people focus on price. There's a huge difference. This next one surprises almost everyone. Saving money is good, but saving too much money can be dangerous. For decades, people have been told, "Put your money in the bank." And while emergency savings are important, money sitting in a savings account slowly loses purchasing power. Inflation quietly eats away at it every year. Imagine keeping $50,000 in cash for 20 years. It feels safe. But inflation turns that safety into a hidden loss. Meanwhile, invested money has a chance to grow. The irony? Many people fear investing because it feels risky. But avoiding investing can be even riskier. Playing defense forever doesn't build wealth. Eventually, you need offense too. When people need more money, they usually do one thing: work harder, more shifts, more overtime, more hours. At first, this works, but eventually time becomes the bottleneck. There are only 24 hours in a day. The highest earners don't simply sell more time. They increase the value of their time. Learning a skill that doubles your income is often worth far more than years of overtime. Yet many people spend thousands of extra hours working, while spending almost 0 hours improving their earning power. They focus on effort. Successful people focus on leverage. Most people think risk is dangerous. Sometimes it is. But avoiding every risk can be the biggest risk of all. Starting a business feels risky. Changing careers feels risky. Investing feels risky. Moving to a better opportunity feels risky. But staying exactly where you are carries risk too. The risk of stagnation. The risk of missed opportunities. The risk of spending your entire life wondering what could have been. Financial freedom rarely comes from playing it completely safe. It comes from taking calculated risks with asymmetric upside. Small risks, big potential rewards. Loyalty is a good trait. But in the workplace, loyalty is often misunderstood. Many employees stay with the same company for 10, 15, even 20 years. They believe hard work will eventually be rewarded. Sometimes it is, but often, the biggest raises come from changing employers. Companies frequently pay more to attract talent than to retain it. The result? The loyal employee falls behind. Not because they lack skill, not because they lack effort, because they assume loyalty guarantees financial growth. Unfortunately, The market doesn't always work that way. Notice the pattern? None of these habits are bad. In fact, they're often recommended. The problem is taking good advice to an extreme. Saving becomes hoarding. Frugality becomes cheapness. Safety becomes stagnation. Loyalty becomes limitation. Hard work becomes a substitute for growth. The habit itself isn't the problem. The lack of balance is. And balance is what separates wealth builders from wealth destroyers. Wealthy people often think differently. Instead of asking, "How can I spend less?" they ask, "How can I create more value?" Instead of asking, "How do I avoid every risk?" they ask, "Which risks are worth taking?" Instead of asking, "How can I keep my money safe?" they ask, "How can I put my money to work?" This subtle shift changes everything. Because wealth isn't built by hiding from opportunity. It's built by recognizing it. If you remember one thing from this video, remember this. A habit can be responsible and still be expensive. The goal isn't to avoid mistakes. The goal is to avoid invisible mistakes. The kind that quietly cost you years of wealth creation. Question your assumptions. Challenge conventional wisdom. And remember, sometimes the habits keeping you broke are the very habits everyone tells you are smart. Because financial success isn't about doing what feels responsible. It's about doing what actually works. Which of these good habits surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Dollar Current for more hidden financial truths that can completely change how you think about money. Because sometimes, the biggest wealth lessons are hiding in plain sight.